Good afternoon, Luis, Thomas, Roberto Rivera, wow, for Panama. The first match will be complicated. We will debut with the strongest team in the group. How do you prepare for it? And Luis, can you talk a little bit about the opponent, Uruguay, and its players? They are favorites to many in this Copa America. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, playing against Uruguay is going to be a challenge. I think we are ready for it. We have been preparing for this match for a while, and the players are very eager. They have their hopes up, and they want to take on an opponent of this quality. We know there is a great positivity and a positive aspect of playing a national team of this quality. As the coach is saying, we have been preparing well. We prepared during the qualifiers and the friendly, and I think we are up to the task. Johnny Mosquera from Tigo Sports, coach. Is this the most difficult game for which you had to prepare in your cycle? We always say that the next one is the most difficult one, but taking into account the absences in Panama and that this is the Copa America, yes, it is very difficult. We've had other challenging matches, but tomorrow we are going to play against one of the best teams in the world. They are a great moment as a team. They have amazing players. They have different game plans and resources, and all the players give their 100%. And I think they will be very strong physically, and that is usually the stamp of Bielsa on his players, and we need to counter that with our game plan, with our work, and that's what we've been preparing to do. Good afternoon, Jose Armando Rodriguez from Claro Sports, Coach Christiansen. What is the legacy that you're living for Central American national teams such as Panama for this type of a tournament? What do you think they will look back on in months or years? What is the legacy for this team? Well, I think we need to show that we can compete against major teams in Latin America, that we aren't guests to this tournament, that we have qualified by our own means. We have played great matches, and tomorrow we'll have time to showcase our growth. And these tournaments for the team and for the players makes us very optimistic, and you have to seize the opportunity when you have it. I think it is a milestone for many players, and probably the potential to grow even more. Good afternoon, Nicole Ferguson, RPC coach. Can you describe the training sessions in Miami, taking into account the absence of Aníbal Godoy? What can we expect tomorrow during the match with starters that may not be the usual ones? And Luis, after so many years in Uruguay, what is the main trait against which we have to prepare tomorrow? Well, the team is very concentrated with the right mindset. They know what they will face, and that is of the essence, knowing the opponent. The, the match has 90 minutes, and of course, the absence of Aníbal is relevant as our captain. He was the leader of our locker room, but uh, we have players to take on his position, and we have other captains such as Luis, and they will manage well. I see a very united group, and they have the potential of making this tough, difficult on Uruguay. I think we have to execute the right game plan. We know the Uruguayan national team has its hierarchy, but we still are dreaming of competing in this cup. We have great players, and they are starting to play in major leagues, and we have prepared very well. Extraer Panama. Marcelo mentioned that he studied Panama's team very well. What about you? Have you studied the Uruguayan national team? What can we expect on the attack tomorrow by Panama? Knowing Marcelo a little bit, I think he has studied us thoroughly. But what do we know on Uruguay? They have alternatives to their game plan, different strategies, and great level of individual skills in every line, and that will make it a tough match. Nonetheless, there are uh, weaknesses we can exploit, and at least we have to measure up to their power in the game if we want to have the opportunity. Brian Hoyos from Blooming Noticias in Bolivia. Coach, I want to broaden the picture a little bit because not in particular about this match, but what is your impression on the group after competing with Bolivia in the US, before competing with Bolivia in the US in Nation to Uruguay? Okay, there are four good teams. We have United States, Uruguay, Bolivia. As you know, it will be a tough group, but we want to be at the top of this group, and hopefully we can be the Cinderella, but we need to acknowledge that it is a tough group, but still we want to give our best and to achieve the wins and get the points in every game. Like, coach, you were talking about opportunities, and with Uruguay, we need to seize every opportunity that we might find. Uh, um, the goal is a bit elusive of us, but what have you discussed with the forwards? I think we need to seize every opportunity as the ones that we might have tomorrow. Well, that is true, but we are not the only team that creates opportunities and misses. Yesterday, we saw a 0-0 draw with teams that created a lot of chances, and it's not particular of Panama, but I think there are better traits to analyze for tomorrow. We have to have a solid defense. We have to show organization. We have to play together and communicate to counter their game plan. Tomás Luis, my question is for Harold Cummins. Do you think it was unfortunate uh, to for him being absent in this Copa America? Well, I talked to the players about this topic. The main reason why we called Harold Cummings is the absence of Godoy as a captain, who was of the essence in the locker room. And Harold has the hierarchy as a player and as a human being. But I don't want to put someone in the spotlight, in particular being an absentee. We'll talk after the Copa. Johnny Mosquera, here, coach in Panama. You, when I will ask again the same question you were asked before. What is the aim of Panama in this Copa America? And apparently, the players agree that they want to showcase their work. And do you think the message you convey reaches the players? So I want to ask you that question again. What is the goal of Panama in this tournament? We're here to compete and to do our best in this tournament, to have a good performance. Maybe people don't trust in the possibilities Panama might have. I'm not worried about that. I'm concerned with the level of motivation of the players. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the intensity of the games. And I think Panama takes to heart having a good performance in the tournament. And I think that reflected or resonated in the last Copa Oro. We showed a great level of play, and we want to repeat that and enjoy being here and playing. David Peña, TV Max, coach, played 5 games before Copa America, the ones in Europe, the qualifiers, and the friendly against Paraguay. What is the version you want to see in Panama tomorrow? I think I want to see a little bit of each game tomorrow. In the friendlies, we got to see new players that we called up, such as the LPF players. Then the qualifiers are complicated games. We knew that, but we got the 6 points. That was very important to us. And of course, it's very important to increase the level of confidence in the trainings and to work on all the necessary traits to have a good performance and compete tomorrow. Tomás, Edgardo Vieda for RPC. Marcelo Bielsa described Panama's game plan in a good light. That Araujo said that sometimes you play with a backline of 4 or 5, that they evaluated the forwards, that they also did some video analysis. Do you think that description of Panama in the performance that we saw in the CONCACAF matches can be actually disruptive and be a surprise to get the expected outcomes? Well, I am really thankful for the praise by the coach and Araujo. Uh, we have in our coaching staff people that have worked with Araujo. They know how much he studies, that he knows who he will mark tomorrow. I think no details escape him, but we have to do our work. We need to know what our game plan will be, and we need to know our potential for improvement and our strengths to somehow break down the opponent. And we need to measure up in front of the other team. Any other question? Oh, okay.
Gracias. Buenas tardes, Javier Tolosa de Color Estéreo. Profe, una
Thank you,
pregunta.
Javier Tolosa of Color
En un
Estéreo.
torneo corto,
Coach, one
como Copa América,
question. In a
eh,
short tournament,
¿sí
such as Copa
se ve la
America,
ventaja de los equipos grandes históricos o aquí como es tan
do you
corto,
see
una
an
buena tarde, una buena
advantage
noche, no
for
se
the
notaría la diferencia
historical major
entre los
teams? Or
históricos
do you
Brasil,
think
Argentina, Uruguay?
that
los
those
equipos,
difference
entre
won't
comillas y con
show
respeto, llamados pequeños
between the
en el
major
fútbol.
teams and the,
Bueno,
let's call
torneo un
them
poco
respectfully,
largo
minor teams.
en el Mundial.
Well, short,
Argentina quedó campeón
long.
del mundo y perdió el primer
In the
partido.
World Cup, Argentina
Es
ended
importante
as the
arrancar
world
bien
champ,
un torneo,
but
sea cual
they
sea,
lost the first
por lo menos
match.
para
It's
ir
always
con más
important to
confianza
start in
hacia
a
el siguiente
tournament
partido. Por
on
eso
the right
creo que
foot.
es importante mañana contra Uruguay
And
intentar
I
sacar
think that is
un buen resultado, por
important
lo menos buen
to
sabor de
get to a
boca,
second match
que nos dé
with
esa
positivity,
confianza
so that
añadida para el
tomorrow,
siguiente
if we
partido, que
win
es
against
también
Uruguay, I think
contra Estados
we
Unidos,
will
será
be
duro y
ready to
acabarlo
continue
con
and
victoria.
play against the US. That
Si
will be a
tenemos
tough game, and then we will
buen
play against
resultado ahí,
Bolivia.
pues
So I
es todo
think
mucho más fácil.
that it will be easier
Por acá para Luis Manota
the
Mejía.
better
Manota, quería
results we get.
preguntarte por el grupo.
Nota
En este
Mejia,
caso, ambos
Manota, I wanted
técnicos se
to
reúnen.
ask
¿Cómo han
about
intentado motivarse de
the
cara
group. I
a
know
justamente
there's
este
a lot
partido
of
luego del partido que vimos
self-assessment.
en eliminatoria que de repente no se dejó
How do
tan
you want
buena
to
imagen a
stand in
pesar de
this
que se han
match
conseguido los resultados?
after the qualifier
Primeramente,
matches that did not give
importante
us the
partido de
expected,
eliminatoria. Sabemos
oh, that gave us the expected
que por
outcome?
lo general son partidos
Well,
complicados,
we
pero lo importante
always
que
know
se
that
sumó, se hicieron
these
los 6 puntos y
matches
después
were
esta
complicated,
competición no
but
necesita
we
mucho
added the
dinero,
points. We got
no
to
está
6 points,
comparado.
and
Sabemos
this type
la
of
copa que estamos,
competition doesn't
tenemos que jugar,
require motivation. We know where we're standing. We know
Uruguay nos necesita
the
motivación.
tournament we want to
Así
play,
estamos
and
tranquilos porque sabemos
against
nos
a
preparamos bien para
match
este partido
with
y
the
sabemos que
hierarchy
estamos
of
por encima.
Uruguay,
Un gran
we don't
partido.
need a greater motivation than the one we already have. We're ready,
Oscar,
and we're going to
hola,
have a
buenas tardes.
great
Javier Orlando para
performance.
Panamá Gol.
Good
Y ante
afternoon,
todo,
Javier
profesor
Orlando for Panama
Christiansen y
Gol.
Mejía, quiero desear éxitos por el planteamiento
Coach
que han
Christiansen and
armado para el día de mañana.
Mejia,
Y mi
I wish
pregunta
you
más bien
great
sería, ¿qué
success
mensaje para los
tomorrow
fanáticos
executing your
que
game
han
plan.
podido ver los últimos partidos de Panamá y
What
el
is
desempeño que han
your
mostrado? ¿Qué
message to
mensaje
the
les quiere
fan
trasladar a la
base,
fanaticada
to
en
the
este inicio de
people in
temporada
Panama,
que veremos un mejor desempeño del último mostrado?
about the our future
Bueno, creo que
performance?
al final el fútbol es
Well,
como es. No puedes estar
in the
en todo
end,
momento
football
con
is
los ojos
football. It is
más
what it is.
centrados. Hay rivales
You
que te generan
may be
problemas, tienen muchas
facing
opciones
difficult
cuando hay algún problema
opponents,
y
and
nosotros
you
pues
have to
estamos
find
con
solutions
muchas ganas
to
de
these
lucir
challenges,
como todos los
and
panameños
we are
y unidos
very
con la
enthusiastic and
fanaticada, pues
eager,
creo
and
que
of
somos capaces
course
de hacer un buen
we
partido y es el mensaje que tenemos
think
que
we
mandar
are
a todo el mundo,
capable of
que Panamá ha venido
having
aquí
a
a
great
competir y a
performance,
competir y no de paseo.
and that is the message to the fan base. Panama is here to compete. Every time I say this is the last question, they are asking another question. Nicole Ferguson again for RPC. How do you assess this moment, not only from the position of coach, or coaching
Pues
staff, or
lo he
players,
dicho, no
being
es
for the first time
normal
in
estar
Copa
en
America?
una Copa América, no es nuestra
It's
zona
not something
y
ordinary.
la
It's
CONCACAF es nuestra
not
zona, así que
our
hay que aprovechar
championship
esta
area. Ours
oportunidad
is the
que
CONCACAF.
es única
So we need to
y podernos
seize this
estar
very unique
juntos
opportunity
con equipos como Argentina, Brasil, Uruguay, Colombia.
to
Bueno,
play
esto
against
no pasa
teams
siempre
of the likes
y
of
hay que aprovecharlo,
Argentina,
hay que
Brazil,
disfrutarlo
Uruguay, Colombia, and
y como experiencia hay que aprender
we
de
need to seize the
pues,
opportunity and
lo
learn
más
from it.
relevante que tenemos.
I think that is our greatest motivation.
Jugadores creemos que es un torneo muy importante,
As players,
que te sube el nivel.
we think it's a very important tournament. It levels you up professionally and personally, and I think we are capable of measuring up to it, and tomorrow we will showcase that. Thank you very much.